All right, we are live. Hello, YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, HTJ, Home Theater Joe. I know it's been a long time. So, yeah, I don't know how we're going to go about that. But more importantly, tonight is a special night. It's Friday evening. It's, what time is it? It's 8:37 here on the East Coast. And, like I said, it's been a long time, man, but I can't tell you how happy I am right now to be back. Um, Thank you to the community. The community's actually grown a little bit in the absence, and want to shout out to a lot of people. But we're not going to get into all that. Uh, we're going to get straight to the meat. But I have a very special guest. This is the first live stream back, and I have a very very special guest. This gentleman, of course, you guys, you haven't seen me for a long time, but of course, my guy and I, we still rock it, right? So he's probably the Mr. Hyde to my Jekyll, somebody that I appreciate, I love very much. He's been an incredible friend, a great guy, and man, you guys know him. Like I said, look, let's just get to it. Where is he? Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. There he is.
Thank you,
You
Joe.
brought what up, buddy?
What's going on, man? Thank you for such a great intro.
Oh man, you're the man, homie.
Appreciate it, brother. And
Man,
great to see you back here, man. I'm glad
look
we
at
can make this happen because I've been kind of little pushing your buttons here and there for a
yeah,
while now.
yeah, no, really, dude. And honestly, um, dude, I wouldn't be doing this right now. That's the one thing I forgot to say. I wouldn't be doing this right now if Corey hadn't been, if YeRoc hadn't been on. Like, hey man, he was very very respectful, very nice about it. But every now and again, hey man, we gotta, because we be talking about our stuff. We be talking this stuff. Y'all ain't nothing changed. We still do it. We're still talking about the everything that's going on in our community. So anyway,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's the one thing I forgot to say. So I'm grateful, man. I'm appreciative. Obviously, yeah, anyway, I do want to say though, I'm loving this background you got behind you, buddy. That's the
What?
old C2 right there, yeah?
Yeah. Yep. Good old C2. It's still holding in strong. I think I got 4,000 hours on it, which is
Golly
which is a
dang.
good bit. Yeah.
That
But
happened quick.
I like putting my displays through their paces, more or less, just seeing
Sure.
what they can handle, what they can't.
Yeah, and just
And
to recap, like you came from the C10, yeah?
yeah, yep.
C10, and you have been absolutely in love with the experience with the C2. Why don't you just give us a brief rundown? Because I know we've talked about it a million times, but hey,
But
it's the first
yeah,
time in 6 months, so
well, like I tell everybody that I speak to in the community, I was prepared to return to C2 and to jump on the QD OLED bandwagon, rightfully so, because the technology is very impressive. But um, just having like a tech background and knowing really not to jump on first gen tech. And once I saw QD OLED, and really it was the C2 that won me over, just how much they improved in just 2 years. And it was like the little things that they improved that counted, like low bit rate, chrominance overshoot, near black shadow detail, just all like those little things that used to kind of pester me. Or the C10 came out, needed firmware tweaks and stuff with, were just kind of all sorted out of the box. So that was another huge reason why I decided to hang on to it. Plus, I feel like WRGB is just a little bit mature, if that
oh
makes
yeah,
sense, in
yes.
a way. Nothing wrong with QD OLED. They're just still working out kinks, I think, in really manufacturing. It's new.
Well, we're getting. Oh man, I actually like. Yeah, I think there was a little foreshadowing there, a little bit. But
Yeah.
we were talking about this recently, and like I've been paying more attention to the C2 because of, hey, here's a little bit of foreshadowing. The prices, y'all. We're gonna get to that later, but that's why I've been kind of revisiting the C2, and I- you know, I, even through the YouTube tomfoolery, the
Yeah.
compression.
The
That
hype
TV
train.
pops, man. I have been paying attention to it, and I'm like, wow. And of course, the C2 price right now, again, it's like I don't want to be an LG fanboy. I just want to go with what's
You know,
most reliable. And holy hell, there we go. There's our guy CG. What up, brother? Man, it's been
oh,
a
we
long
got our
time,
first
my
guy.
friend. There he is. Oh man,
I see him there in chat. Thank you for
Good to
stopping
see you,
by. Thank you for
man.
stopping by so much, CG.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. So let's go ahead and get into it then a little bit. Actually, before we get to QD OLED, because that's huge for us.
Yeah.
I want to real quick revisit the whole compensation cycle thing because as we're all aware, I'm sure, and if you're not, you guys should probably check out what ratings has got Rtings has got going on with their burn-in test.
Yeah.
Wow, man,
Great work they're doing.
it has been very interesting, y'all. And honestly, we're at the tip of that iceberg, guys. We're gonna have so much more information in just 12 months' time because those
Oh yeah.
those fools over there aren't going to stop. And whether you like our teams or not, I'm not over here thinking that they're really manipulating this data. I think it's kind of true blue. What you see is what you get. So to revisit the compensation cycle fiasco from a year and a half ago, YeRoc,
Right.
the whole it seemed like our little piece of the community was just in arms a little bit, man. The comment section was a rife with
Yeah,
this
it
with this
was. It really
discussion.
was. It was like a war zone in there.
And I think I'm not sure if you can say there's a right or wrong.
There
Let's
really
be being
isn't.
nice about it, but I really do think that now we know.
Mm-hmm.
But running the compensation cycle, especially if you're at high luminance, like if you have calibrated your display or your display is hitting around 840, 850, even if it might be a 10% or 2% window, running that compensation cycle for me is a must more than every 2,000 hours.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I remember Sony's literature, but I believe Sony did that for a reason. We'll get into that later.
They did it because there's a difference between the two comp cycles, as we know.
For sure, and I think we now again we're gonna piggyback off this, but not being a fanboy here, LG has figured out the image retention problem, man. They really have. When Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, was it the C10 or the C? It might have been a C8. Which was the first one with the white pixel?
Oh,
C8?
I think it was before that.
Oh, it might have been it. It
Yeah,
might have been.
it was before that.
Because I know my
LG,
C8. I believe my C8 had it.
it did. It
Yeah.
it did, but what they really changed the pixel structure like a couple times over the years. I mean, I even believe the 3D OLEDs, WRGBs, yeah, they had the white subpixel too, but the pixel structure was different. They really went back, I think, after the 8 series and redesigned the red subpixel, which was what gave them the most problem at first.
Yeah, that's right. I do. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it was like anything to do with reds, yellows. That was really where the burn-in was happening. I mean, even on if you go back and look at old AMOLEDs from Samsung, the same
Mm.
thing. A lot of YouTube apps burned in on people's phones because of the red little line and stuff. I mean, I had tons of them. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube, but it was just a very noticeable flaw with early OLED technology.
Um, our homie CG, he did get burn in on his C10
Yeah,
playing
that's where
COD a
mine
couple
was heading
months
too.
ago, and now he's got that C2. He really wanted a 65, as you can see. I just asked him. I'd like to hear how he
Yeah,
feels
when you're
about it.
upgrading, you want to go up in size for sure. But I went with 50. I stuck straight with 55. A big reason for that too is pixel density. I
Yes,
still feel
yeah,
like,
for sure.
see, with the 2 series, I was telling Joe this other night, they did improve the pixel aperture ratio. So the native like sharpness is better than what it used to be on say a C10 or even a C1. It's not night and day, but it does help. It helps with color too. But yeah, you can really tell a difference even going from a C10 to a C2. How
Oh
much
man,
more efficient the panel is. It's not perfect by no means, but compared to the
pretty
C10,
good.
which could show a lot of image retention,
That
uh,
C series is so strong, brother.
it really
It's
is.
the best value in OLED displays. There's no doubt about it.
Every year
There's
they
just
give
no
you
way.
probably
I
your
I
best
don't care
bang
if
for
we're
your buck.
talking QD OLED, man. I don't care. The C series is the most QD OLED or OLED, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Y'all go ahead and kill me in the comments. I don't care. That's what it is.
It doesn't deserve being killed for.
All right, let's see. Let's see what our guy says. Man, the C2 feels like a big upgrade over the CX. It's the brightness. I always felt like my C10
It
was
is.
lacking. And I totally agree, brother. I used to tell you
Yeah.
guys, like, man, I would walk from my living room display, which was the 77 C10, to the bedroom display, which was 50. It might have been 65. I don't recall. But
It's 65.
yeah, the C1, you're right, sitting right here in front of me. The 65. And it was like just that short walk from the living room to the, and we'd both be playing Call of Duty, you know,
Yeah.
and
I remember you would say it to me while we were playing Warzone. You're like,
I'm
man,
walking in and be like, man, okay, it's noticeable, you know, it
yep.
just is. Like, so there was no denying it, but good on you, CG man. Really happy to hear about that.
I'm glad that you're echoing the same experience too, because some people I talk to, they just like shoot me
Oh,
down.
oh, listen to our guy
So
here.
did I.
Could have gotten that S95B, went for the C2. Dude, turns out, wow. I know we're playing armchair quarterback, hindsight's 2020, but
Yeah,
turns out that might have been a good call. That decision might have aged well.
it
All right,
it
so
did.
let me stop just picking a little bit. Let's just hit it. Let's get into it. We kind of buried it. I didn't just want to jump on it at first, you know. Let's go, y'all. It's gonna get all kinds of. I'm sure all kinds of people are gonna be like, "What?" Let's just do it. Let's get into QD OLED.
All right, let's
What's
get it.
going on with QD OLED, brother?
So, as a lot of us unfortunately predicted, QD OLED is really showing signs with, I would say, a lot of white content, where white content, a lot of like static gaming hubs. You watch news a lot. If you really put a lot of hours on a QD OLED, first gen I'm talking about. Second gen, we're still learning and they're still improving the process of the panels. But um, more than likely, you've probably experienced it if you've had a QD OLED from the start. But um, they are just a little bit more susceptible to permanent image retention and screen burn if you are very hard on your TVs and you like to use full brightness all the time. It's it's a hard thing to come to terms with, but the data is coming out and it's speaking for itself, and it's why you always got to take caution with new technologies.
It seems like as well that these displays, Samsung, they nerfed the display after only about a month. They
Yeah, they
nerfed the S95B as well. We can see that the even going back to, I know it's not a QD display, but going back to the A90J, that
mhm,
thing with the heatsink never hit 1,000 nits.
not
And
for,
when they did put out that A95K last year, right, they also did not let it reach 1,000 nits.
it was like 950,
Very
940.
telling to me because I feel like that those QD displays can reach far beyond 1,000 nits. And when I
Oh
say
yeah.
far, I don't mean like 2,000. Not right now. I mean, but I would bet you if they just let those things go full blast, they're easy 1,500 nits right now,
Oh yeah.
probably.
Natively.
And in a
Yeah.
couple of years, those things will be 2,000 nits. Now, the question for me would be, why did we nerf that panel out of Jump Street there after a month? You know that. So the
They
nerf.
got data back from Samsung Display, I'm pretty sure. They got a lot of data back, even from showroom floors, I would say, because I went when the S95B first came out. I went to a local big screen store, which is they sell basically Samsung only. They're around my area, and they're not really a great place to go to and really get in the nitty gritties of TVs. But they usually always have the first Samsung models in the country, along with like a company like Value Electronics. But anyway, I went there and I got to tinker with one, and um, I forget where I was going with this. Where What
Oh,
was
I
your
forgot.
comment on QD OLED right before this?
I'm sorry. Who commented on it?
I know I'm saying, what was your comment on QD OLED right before this?
Oh, the fact that they nerfed the
Oh, they
panels,
nerfed.
right?
Yeah, they nerfed the
Oh,
panel.
and never
Yeah,
let them reach anywhere near full
on
potential. Dude, they're
on
they're running
showroom
two
floors.
thirds,
That
man.
that's where I was going with it. The
Yeah,
people, the guys I would talk to in those stores, they would say that they were already seeing problems with the image retention from running those TVs all day in the showroom. Um, so that was an early telltale sign of that they probably weren't as efficient as they could be, which is probably rightfully so. We knew that the technology went from 50% yield to I think it was 80. So they were really having trouble getting it off of the ground per se, the tech.
So
But
I do want to skip. I'm kind of jumping ahead here. I'm trying to kind of jump the gun, but I will say this. This is where it becomes a problem for me, an issue. You can get an S95B right now, 55-inch for $12.99.
I
That's
know
that's really good. That is a good
cheaper
price.
than cheaper
It's
than that.
it's crazy technology. It is, dude. I'm not over here saying like QD OLED's not,
Not at all.
but here's the real deal. Let me try to shortcut it. Sony and Samsung have not been messing around with OLED long enough, much less QD OLED, to know what they're doing. And they have to know. I believe Samsung knew when the
They
S95
knew
hit the market. These
the
these
marketing shows that, I think,
these
or
companies
lack
do
of.
R&D, right? They do R&D on these products for years. Okay.
Yep.
They did just R&D QD OLED for like 6 months and were like, okay, we're ready. They were doing
Not
this
at
stuff
all.
for a few years, man. So when they hit it, oh, sorry, CG, I just saw you put another comment. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pause
Oh,
what
I'm
I'm
seeing
saying,
that.
and I do want to acknowledge what he said. Only problem I had with the handshake issues, with the C2,
Always
handshake
CEC
issues with the
problems. I turn
Xbox
off
Series X
CEC on
C2
everything.
remain on signal when I power on Xbox or power the Xbox on, driving me mad. Can't find a solution. So yeah, the whole black screen
Um,
thing, right? Is that
yeah,
kind
I
of
think you might be having problems with that. If you haven't turned off CEC, I just recommend turning off CEC over HDMI altogether on any TV for the most part, and just turn your consoles and turn your TVs and do everything manually because it's just the best way to do things. Still to this day, I think so.
yeah? For me, I always I
Even if it can work sometimes, chances are in the next firmware it might not.
so here's how
Unfortunately.
I do it. I'm so glad you said that because I would never have thought to tell anybody this because it's just so insignificant. For me, I don't watch cable. I don't have
Yeah,
TV,
you
right?
told me this. Yeah,
I constant my when my
you're
display
lucky.
kicks on, it's on HDMI 3, which
Hmm.
is to my Xbox. So um either that or I'm gonna turn it on and just watch something streaming, right?
Yeah.
Or I may occasionally turn it to the Blu-ray, which is HDMI 1, but for the most part, it's always on HDMI 3. So when I turn the TV on, usually I've already hit the button on my Xbox controller. So that's
Hmm.
already, on and going for a couple of
Turning it.
minutes. And then I turn on the TV. And once I turn on the TV, all the other gear turns on. But so I could recommend that as well. If you're gonna you're all having those issues, say when you switch from one input to another to play your game,
Yeah.
just whenever you turn on the TV, just leave it on whatever HDMI port the console's plugged into. That might
That's good advice too. Yeah,
that
very
might
good
help you out a
advice.
little bit.
Hmm.
Um, CG wants to know thoughts on MLA, man, and actually we're gonna put our QD OLED conversation on pause because it's gonna lead us right back around to QD OLED.
Yeah.
I don't know my personal opinion. YeRoc, I'm gonna love to get your opinion on this. We haven't talked about the G3 much, man. We just have not
No,
talked
we
about
really
MLA. That's
haven't.
the one thing because we've been stuck on some other things, but that's the one thing we haven't discussed a lot. And here's what I'll say: like, I'm pretty confident in it. Again, I believe LG's been doing this for a long time, and I
Yep.
just think they know what's up. That's why they decided not to. I don't believe LG was like, "I've never heard of QD OLED. What's a QD OLED?"
Exactly.
I don't think three
Yeah.
years ago LG was like, "What's the QD OLED?" I think they doubled down and tripled down on their technology, and then they introduced this MLA to focus the light. Right, that's what we want. We don't want this light. We don't
We
want
don't
weight
want
and
light
energy.
loss. Yeah.
Right, we want it directed, pointed at us, whatever. So here's my issue, man. That's a lot to say. Listen, here's how I feel in my heart, y'all. I don't care if you have a WOLED or a QD OLED. And for me personally, I'm not sure that these panels are meant to go over 1,000 nits for longevity. Okay, you might get a year or two at 1,000 nits, but I'll bet you, I just think that's where we're at, y'all. And it's a real side note. I mean, we're all like, "Oh, what's the best technology? The best technology?" Blah, blah, blah. Dude, there is a best technology. We just can't afford it. It's
Exactly.
it's micro LED, y'all. That is where it's at. That is the best that we have to offer. Period. In the story. But you're talking $120,000 for a 110-inch monitor. display that only does 1080p. But that
Exactly.
1080p is the best looking 1080p you ever saw. So listen, all this mini LED, QLED, Neo OLED, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It really
Like that,
doesn't
that was
at
my
the end of
one
the day.
issue last year. I remember when S95B came out, and there was a lot of people in the community like, this changes everything. Now there's a different class, and now everything's gonna move down a class. And I'm thinking,
I remember those comments.
this is just this doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day,
It's
micro
not
LED
even a
gets the shit
it's
out of
not even
everything.
a step in the roadblock almost. I mean it is as far as quantum dots go, I'll say, but we've had quantum dots
My
with
guy, you're right, sir. You're right.
we've had quantum dots with LCDs, and LCDs are actually doing some pretty cool things if you actually follow that technology. As far
Is that a
as
Samsung sound bar, sir? CG? Is it
oh
Samsung?
yeah.
Please
Nah,
tell me.
what's kind of funny is supposedly now the C2
I really
works
want
with
to know.
the Samsung the
Don't tell
Q
me it's the
Symphony.
FK like 10 or whatever. If you tell me it's an LG soundbar, I'm gonna be like, damn, that really is rotten. All right,
it,
Vizio. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I get that. But I will say this too: the Vizio soundbar, subwoofer, whole connection
they're
thing.
pretty nice.
It's really good for the money. You just have to know it's got no longevity after 3 years, 4 years, whatever
Pretty
it
much.
is. Pretty
Yep.
much done. I'd like to know how many years you've gotten out of that CG. I'm sorry, buddy. You were saying.
um I was just saying that the C2 supposedly supports the Q Symphony through Samsung now, which I find very weird because I don't I don't even know if Samsung uh like supports LG things. So is LG supporting Samsung things? That's weird.
Oh man, you just reminded me. YeRoc. Who is it? I believe it's Samsung. Dude, please tell me who is not supporting DTS this year. It's a big
Uh,
manufacturer. It's either Sony or Samsung, I believe. I think LG will pass through DTS now, right?
I think they brought it back
I
because
think they do, right?
people
But
were
it
mad about it.
surprised me when I heard this. Oh man, I want to say it's Samsung not passing DTS, and
It wouldn't surprise me because
dude,
they just do weird stuff like
whoever it
that.
is, I don't want to talk out of my rear end and say but somebody's not passing DTS, and for real, y'all,
I'm
like
gonna
you
look
got to
that
be
up.
kidding me because some of the greatest movies
Or
and
DTS.
Blu-rays are just DTS Master HD 5.1s. So if you're not able to pass through DTS through to your display, that is a huge negative for me. That's bad. I cannot deal with that, dude. I can even deal with having a Samsung TV and not having Dolby Vision. Not a big deal. You got HDR 10 plus. Don't care. But when you tell me,
I can't. I need the Dolby Vision, but
actually, I'm saying that now, and
yeah,
let me
I
give
think if
LG
you
their
live with
props because
one,
they did bring back DTS. I'm fairly certain. But every LG display I've had, and then now I have the C1 as my latest, has not had DTS.
yeah, the
This is big.
C10 they took
So
it out, and the
let me
C1
just
they
go ahead
took
and
it out.
smack them upside the head too. LG, you're ducking up. That's one of the reasons I have a audio excuse me audio the pre-pro the
Yeah,
processor
the pre-pro.
because
Yeah,
it will pass through whatever, right?
yep.
So
It
you know,
sucks you got to spend that kind of money just to do that, though. You know what I mean?
well, you know me, baby. I'm a budget guy. My pre-pro cost $1,000.
Yeah, that's still
$1,000, baby, and it's
$1,000 is
awesome, dude.
budget.
I'm telling you, like, we had this conversation. It's funny we were talking about this the other day, brother. When I jumped up in this YouTube stuff, I had one thing really in mind. Like, you don't have to be rich to enjoy home theater. Like, you can totally build a home theater for a reasonable amount of money, and I think most people wouldn't believe how much of an experience you can have
Oh
with
yeah,
that budget theater.
they don't understand it. Most people, or 99% of people, I would say, because I talk to them every day of my life, trying to just egg them towards getting into home theater and stuff. Because I like they don't know what they're missing. They really don't. They go to the movie theaters. They think that thing's awesome, but it could be better. Let's just say
CG
that.
CG is asking, hey Joe, you notice any audio delay from the SSX when you switch to the Xbox to Dolby Digital, especially in COD? Those delayed
God,
gunshots suck.
I've
In
never had that problem with my
stereo
C2.
uncompressed. Yeah, stereo uncompressed though is pretty much the way you want to go,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you do.
So
I
if you
believe.
can't for whatever reason, I assume you're using Dolby Digital CG. You correct me if I'm wrong. Like, can you not utilize Atmos through your sound bar? Because even
Good
if,
question.
hear me out, brother, even if you don't have Atmos speakers, the system will recognize that and cut the sound to, they will actually try to place the sound in your other speakers as opposed to sending them up there. So if you can switch to Dolby Atmos in Call of Duty, I've been saying this for years now, man. And actually, some games have caught up, y'all. Let me just
Yeah,
tell
they
you,
have.
the Dead Space remake, as well as the Callisto Protocol, which are the two newest games I've played, they done caught up. But the best example of almost Dolby Atmos I could ever give you for the last few years has been through Call of Duty. It's been crazy. Like the
That
overhead, and it's very accurate. So I would say if you can find a way, because Dolby Digital will only allow you to do, I think, 5.1. I think it
I
caps at
believe
5.1.
so. I think that's the limit.
Dolby Digital's actually been around, y'all, for like more than 20 years. I'm pretty sure it's a
Long
very
time.
old codec. I get much more immersive audio when I switch to the Xbox Dig. Okay, okay. There's just a
Mikey
delay.
speak.
There's a delay in every damn setting in the except stereo uncompressed. All that. Let me ask you this though: out of stereo uncompressed, you can still hear. You're using a sound bar. Shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's
It's
my disconnect. That's
probably
my
doing
disconnect.
something
I'm
with
sorry.
that signal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So the sound bar is going to be totally different than the individual speaker layout. So yeah, I think you figured it out though, CG. Like, I'm sorry, dude. It took me a minute to put that. You are using a sound bar. So but yeah, you still have that delayed gunshot problem though, right?
Yeah, I've never had issues like that with
Oh, cool. You have rear speakers though. Dude, can you
nice.
those rear speakers sound way better on Dolby? Let me ask you this, brother. It's a lot easier to track sounds and gunshots and footsteps with those rear speakers, isn't it? Even on a
Mhm.
soundbar system, like when you add those, dude, yeah,
It's night and day.
it's
It's
such
night and
awesome.
day.
It is awesome, dude. Man, we are way off track now.
We are. We're getting
We're
into the
we have
weeds
so much
again.
more to say about QD OLED. My secondary scream was like, "F you, I'm getting out of here." All right, so I guess we should say this. Uh, oh, what's the fit? It doesn't give me the 55 right now. I'm not gonna look at it. So, what's your thoughts, man? I wanna get your thoughts, YeRoc.
All
Anything
right.
like QD OLED or OLED, anything over 1,000. I mean, where do you think these technologies are? Do you see them really being able to push that kind of signal for any amount of time?
No, I'm not even quite confident on the Gen 2s doing it long term. Uh you might get 2 years out of it, but we'll see
Well,
if
exactly, man, if it's a QD OLED.
yeah, I mean we'll see in due time. What's so crazy about QD OLED is it's literally like 2 millimeters thick, the whole technology. So that's
Oh,
like
crazy.
tiny.
Yeah.
So I mean all OLED's pretty small, but I think as they get efficiency figured out, if they are using blue and green in the OLEDs to drive luminance, then possibly. And I think Samsung really needs to just get compensation cycles figured out. They just need to do a lot of R&D on it before they make people beta testers. But
Oh,
people,
God,
pe-
darn it.
yeah,
Yeah, you're so right, dude. God, we're
people
all
that
beta
are
testers,
buying
man.
first gen tech usually know that, but not everybody does,
Ooh,
and
dude,
there's a
it's
lot
been
of hype
bad
that goes
though. The
around.
last few years, brother. Last 4 or 5 years, it's been bad, dude. Especially in video games, man.
Oh
Video,
yeah,
they haven't put out a complete video game in like 10 years, brother.
nope.
It's always got to have a firm. I mean, as soon as it launches, it's all
I
jacked up and bugged out. Like,
I can't even play Call of Duty anymore because it's been broken since launch, and
oh yeah, dude.
I just my heart can't do it because I just lose. Like I get deflated every time I play it because there's always a bug, there's always a glitch, there's always an audio cut now here and there, and it's just
All right,
I
well,
there's
let's
no
let's do
polish.
let's put our horse blinders on, man, and try to focus and narrow down again. Let's here. So I want to talk about some of the problems I have with the QD OLED. And they're not
All
real
right,
problems, dude.
as you do that, I'm gonna get my laptop
Copy that. Copy
charging.
that.
Just keep talking.
I actually love the S95C. I think is awesome, dude. It comes with that one connect box, dude, and
Me
I
too.
think the one connect box is awesome. But
Other manufacturers should do that.
here's my problem, man. The 65 S95C is retailing right now for $32.99.
Yeah,
That's just insane to me. That's not even
that is pretty insane.
I don't really care. Like if you're talking Sony or Samsung right now, I would not. I just I want a QD OLED, dude. I want that S95C, but
We want it to
I know
last.
better. I know
Yeah.
better, homie. And I just, man,
Let me say this: if you can get it with a Best Buy warranty and you're prepared to do the exchange and be ready for a
possibly,
panel
yeah.
replacement, then go for it. I mean, I just have been through that too much that I'm just like, you know what? I'll just
Well, I
go
just
with
think
what I know can actually, you know, last longevity wise for me. I mean, I put a lot of hours on some
the
OLED TVs,
55
WRGBs, that is.
S95C is 2,300. Now, to be fair, that's not the S95 what B, right? Is it still the
Yeah,
B?
it's second
S95B
gen.
is probably a little better. Let's see what the S95. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Of course, I just saw the S95B prices. Wait a minute. Well, so which one? It's the S90C. I'm sorry, the S90C, right?
That could have the first gen panel in it, so you're
Yeah,
not
that
guaranteed
has
to.
doesn't have the one connect box, correct?
No, no, it does not. It's basically a carryover
S90C.
model.
So yeah, let's see. Yeah, it is. It is exactly that. Let's see what it costs though,
Yeah,
just for poos and giggles.
it's so Samsung can get rid of their S95B panel stock because
So right now,
it's
brand new, the
advancing so fast.
S90C is $2,600 after taxes. You're 2,800 probably. Uh, maybe a little less than 2,800 or
Really
something
cheap,
like that.
actually. Like if you really think about it, in all
I mean,
reality, very cheap
so
for
let's
OLED.
see. What is the LG C3? What's that 55 going for? I'm sorry, that was the
Too much.
65. That was the
Oh,
65. S90C was and they're the same price, 24.99. They're the exact same price. The
yeah.
S90C and the LG 65 C3 right now are the exact same price.
I can't believe what they're asking for the C3.
I,
I
I
really
I'm
can't.
agreement. I am agreement. I think the G3 should be the C3 price right now,
Yep, me
and
too.
the C3 should be like brand new 1,700.
Yep, it should
17.99.
be no more than this was at all.
17.99 for a 65-inch I just don't get it. I
It's
don't get why that 65. Yeah, let's go ahead and give Samsung their smack upside the head because I don't understand, brother. Can you tell
it's
me why that's fucking C? Pardon my French. The ducking C3 is 65-inch C3 is $2,500.
it's because the semiconductors is the only thing that I can come up with, and just the way that market's like that right now with China and Taiwan and things like that. That's the only thing that I can come up with because there's nothing else that justifies it or greed.
Yeah, I had this thought actually the other day, and I thought, oh, it's
You're
kind
right
of
about that. Elden Ring. He's right about Elden Ring.
Elden Ring was pretty.
It had its
Rubber band.
performance problems,
Oh,
but
okay. All right. All right. I stand correct. That's good.
think
I've never played it, but I'm
Breath of
glad to
the
know that,
or not Breath of
that
the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
and that's a big AAA release too, right? Elden Ring was a big game, right?
Yeah,
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 I don't play the genre, but that was a big. It's just been hard
I
there.
do.
These big AAA releases, dude, have just been terrible, bro.
A lot. Most of them have. I mean, it's it's frustrating, but they usually get figured out for the most part
So
with
take a
time.
half step back here. The C3 is way too expensive.
Mm.
Honestly, the QD OLED should have done something to the market, y'all. And here was the thought that I didn't share with anybody yet, but I
He
thought, like,
can
man, in another 15 months, I feel like the American
actually
economy is going to get
can.
so bad, y'all. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I feel like that these major retailers out here, the Lowe's of the world, the Best Buys, the Amazons, they're all thinking the LGs, the Sonys, they're like, yo, we got to hit these people for all the money they have right now, for all the money they're going to have left, because we all know it's going to hell in a handbasket in about 15 months. So I really think greed is really, they're really
You're
like,
probably right.
because I mean, I'm kind of half joking, but I half feel like that's true. There's no reason,
The
brother.
thing
Like,
is we
why?
don't know, so that's the
The,
problem. We
the
don't know what's
C3
going to happen.
the C3 should be, I mean, how much listen, man, how much does it cost LG to make a gold darn C series panel these days, brother?
It doesn't
Like they
cost
have
them
all
what
these
they're
factories,
charging.
they've had these factories. I mean, I know they have the newer ones, but they've had these older factories that have been manufacturing these OLEDs for a decade. Like the cost has got to be down.
Yeah, it does.
Gotta
I
be
do give
down.
them props though, because like you go back even 3 years and the 77s were like so much money compared to what they are now.
Well, the
So like when it
77s
comes
were
to
going
large
down, man.
ones, it's
You know,
like,
they were going down, but now they're not.
yeah.
Uh,
Hey, I want to touch on CG's question
yeah, yeah.
because I'm not
Can
sure
I read it?
that
Let me read this real quick. Hey,
yeah,
is
read
it
it
true?
out.
I can tell my C2 is an EX panel by it's saying 10 minutes for the pixel refresh instead of 90 minutes.
Yeah. So
Brother, what's up with that?
So I would have to go back and watch HD TV test video, I believe, to figure this out because he's the only one that I know that's got C2s with WBC panels because he's got the smaller sizes. So if you have a 55 C2, you 100% have a WBE or the EX panel. If you have a 42 or a 48, you could have a WBC panel. But the best way to tell on an LG OLED what panel you have is by the spectral power. And a lot of times you can tell that just based off the tint of the whites when you go off axis and stuff. The older panels were like cyan. They always kind of had a cyan tint to the whites. And the newer ones have a more magenta shift to them on
Very
the
nice.
on the C2s.
Very good. Very good
But
CG.
I
That
do
helps.
believe that he might be onto something with the 10 minutes versus 90 minutes because they did change the time it takes to do the compensation, the manual refresh, so the actual one that you go in and hit. It used to take an hour plus. Now it takes like 15 minutes tops.
Wow, that's funny because yeah, my C1 still takes. Now,
Yeah.
if it's not that hard refresh cycle, it does
Yeah.
it does every 2000. If it's that hard refresh cycle, oh,
Yeah.
you best believe that
Yeah.
thing's going to take some time.
It
But
is.
I
It
do
is
feel
that.
like
It
that
is that one.
the rest of them, the rest of the cycles I do, because as you know, I would do them all the time.
Yeah,
I would
you
do that,
would.
dude. I'm hard on my panels though, so I felt like I needed to do it a lot, and just because I didn't want anything to happen, and through my C8,
Yeah.
my C10, and now my C1, I've never had any problems, y'all. But I'll tell you this too: I never have turned off my TPC and all that stuff. I don't do that. I turn it
Yeah,
off when
I
I'm
do.
testing and measuring and adjusting, but I make sure to leave that stuff on. So these YouTubers out here that are like, just turn off the TPC, it doesn't matter. They're keeping that TV for a year and they're getting rid of it. They don't care.
They
That's
either
why
have a
they don't see no burn
warranty.
in, bro. They don't see
Yeah.
no burn in because they're not keeping the TV more than 7, 8 months, maybe 9, 10 months. Then they get the new year. So,
I
dude, it
the
just
only
makes me
thing
so mad. Just make
the
me
only
mad.
thing that I turn it off for is the dimming in Dolby Vision and HDR. But see, I'm also very careful with my panels for the most part. I'm not just gonna leave it like right now. I told Joe this thing's running at 10 OLED because if I run it at any higher, it's clipping the camera. So
Oh
why
yeah,
would I run it high
blowing
right
it out.
now?
Yeah, mine's definitely magenta. It's always the 10-minute versus 90 come up in a discussion too because I don't have a service. Right, right. I kind of
Okay.
figured I was wondering like, he should just look at it, but I figured that's why you brought that up. But dude, honestly, some of those cycles I've run did not take long, man. Like I run cycles all the time. I used to at the Georgia Avenue house. I would run those cycles all the time.
The
And
TV is very smart to know what it needs to do from
sometimes
my
it'll be quick.
experience.
Yeah.
like it'll even sometimes warn you, like if you have a very hard day on your WRGB, if it's LG, that is, it's sometimes gonna prompt you to run the 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 bigger comp cycle, so the manual refresh. But it runs a lot of also the mini comp cycles once you have 4 hours of screen on time. It
Oh
runs a
man,
ton of those.
that definitely happened to myself. Oh, by the way, my son drew that. I don't know if you're gonna see it, but my son drew that, so that's why it's back there.
Oh, that's cool.
My TV definitely. I had my C10 told me that one time, and I was shocked. It was
No,
like
I remember you saying that.
it came up and was like, "Hey man, you need to turn off this display, dude. We'll give you 5
Yeah.
minutes." And I was just like, "Yeah, whatever." I just forgot I was playing. What was I playing? I was playing like Rocky League or something, and then damn, the TV just cut off, and I was like, "You know what? Oh my god!" And
Yep.
he told me it was going to do that, but
That's
that
been my
cycle
experience
lasted like
too.
5 minutes, dude. That thing turned off, and it ran a little cycle because you can see this little light thing. Anyway, that was funny, man. But all right, so I think there's something that just we need to speak in plain English. Need to say in plain English, man. If you're one of these TV guys that's like, you gotta have the latest and greatest, whatever, whatever. You just shoot yourself, man. I'm leaving that technology, dude. They don't have that QD OLED stuff worked out, y'all. You heard it here first. Nobody else is gonna be as honest as we are. I'm not
I'm not
speaking
even
for you,
sure if
Ron,
they
but
have
I'm
this
telling you
tech
right now,
worked
for
out
my
yet.
money, from my opinion, my personal opinion, they do not have QD OLED worked out now. It is too much of a serious gold darn risk. You never know when they're going to nerf the panel or not, and they are just not letting these panels anywhere near full potential.
Oh no no no
They're at
no.
230. That worries me. That worries me. And on top of that, they're not running anywhere near full potential. I don't know if Sony changed their policy since a year ago, but again, our teams, the Sonys are not running these compensation cycles, man. Naturally, their algorithm is to run 3 cycles. You guys can go watch the video, and at the same time, LG's running like 20, 21, or 24
Mm-hmm.
cycles.
Yeah,
Same amount of time.
yeah.
So
Go watch the
Sony,
Arking's video about
what's going
burning.
on there? And Sony was that they did have the literature right there on their website for the A90J. They were like, "Oh yeah, don't run that compensation cycle." And hey, dude, they might be telling us that for a reason. They did manufacture that TV. They R&D'd it. They know. They may know, like, hey, if you run this compensation cycle too many times, it's going to duck up your TV. Well, guess what? I'm living proof. I ran compensation cycle on an LG C10 once a week, forever. I mean, and nothing happened. That TV's still going strong today. Still looks
Good,
gorgeous, dude. And
great.
that's another thing about LG, brother. They
It,
will update their displays years after the fact.
oh yeah,
And
they're
you
they're
make
updating
them,
E6s and everything still to this day and
dude.
stuff.
It's freaking incredible the way they do that. So, like in my mind, I'm like, why would anybody? I'm telling y'all, stay away from QD OLED, man. Stay away from QD OLED, dude. I love that technology. I want it, dude. I've said it from the beginning. I'm so
We
jealous of
both want
the
it.
screen uniformity. And really, YeRoc was on his way before me, but the color volume, yeah,
Yeah.
the color volume's there. Like I was not quick to um, that realization, and I even probably fought it a little bit. Like, yeah, whatever. But the uniformity always got me, bro. And I'm like, God,
It's quote
that's
unquote what
really
they
nice.
call the best of both worlds in what I think.
And
Like
here we go. I think we have definitive proof now for me, anyway. Just my little 2 cents here with the peanut gallery is that
peanut gallery.
LG figured it out, y'all. That's why LG stayed the course with WOLED, with WOLED, dude. That's why they didn't change when QD OLED hit. That's why, like, nah, y'all calm down. Like, we're good. We're good. We got this. Oh, yeah. Here, by the way, here's an MLF. But I will caution you, too. I will also caution and say, hey, look, I
Oh
don't know,
yeah.
man. I don't know if those panels are supposed to do that.
Yeah, here's what I will say about MLA since we got so into the weeds, but MLA I'm almost positive that the panel is not really being pushed much harder than say a C2 or something. It's the MLA that's doing the heavy lifting. It's the
Right, which
actual
is not
optic.
actually a part of the internal mechanism. It's not a part of
Yeah,
the pixels. It's an
exactly.
added layer, correct?
Yes.
Right.
So it's better efficiency, better light.
Plus, they have a
So
heat sink too, correct? The
yes,
G3
yes,
heat sink.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I I do have a little bit more confidence in that being able to hold the sustained
Yeah,
brightness
makes sense.
levels a little bit longer,
Yeah, it makes
especially
sense.
the way LG tunes their TVs, because they don't let them run off the handle like say maybe a Samsung might let you do it.
Yes, they do.
I mean, you can do it, but most people don't do it. You can go into the service menu, you can force HDMI or HDR on all the time and peak brightness, but that's just not really realistic.
CG says that he hadn't got a service remote. He was afraid it would void the warranty, the Best Buy warranty.
I was afraid for a long time too. I
And
didn't have a problem with Best Buy, but I also wasn't telling
he
them that
said
I
he
was in
does say
there.
that the tech didn't care about anything other than the
Yeah,
issue. So it's
mine
something.
didn't either. Mine tried fighting me a little bit because all my pixels were on the border of my C10, but I had about 25 dead pixels, and I think I just had a faulty panel that just decided to take a crap one day. Basically, it was
Right,
never
right.
very
And
good
it happens. It
from the
happens.
get go. Yeah,
It happens. That's why we get that warranty.
yeah.
Especially with displays. Like
The
right.
TV was misdiagnosed early on for floating blacks. They thought it was a power supply, but it ended up being just firmware. So yeah, I was one of the very, very first like C10 adopters. So it was like before a lot of like Vincent's reviews came out where he covered the Dolby Vision issue with the C10. So I had a tech over and he put a power supply, a main board, and all kinds of stuff in a C10 trying to fix that issue when it was firmware, Dolby Vision firmware.
Quick
Or
announcement. We're at 46 minutes. I don't want to take any more than an hour of anybody's time, man. But
yeah,
I
we
could do
said
this
that the other night.
all night long. It's so fun. Here's a great question from CG, by the way. You guys think it's a bad time to purchase a console? I want a PS5, but feel like the PS5 Pro is lurking. Yeah,
Yeah, it
it
is.
surely is, dude. Because what's their track record? The Pro series usually comes out 3 to 4 years after the main console, right? So we're
Yeah,
already coming up on like 3 years,
yeah,
right?
to five. I would say
All
to
right, might
five,
be the
but
5.
yeah,
Yeah, but
but
here's my real go-to answer for that. Hey, that was just like pudding. That was just like the pudding on top of the cake or whatever you want to say. Here's my real reason. The PS5 is ugly as duck, y'all.
it is.
That
I
thing is
will agree.
hideous, dude. I'm sorry.
That
I
one,
would never.
it's
I would,
hidden. Mine's behind the TV. It's hidden. It's out of sight, so you don't got to worry about looking at it. When you run like a dark plate on them, they look kind of cool, but the way they
it's so
come,
big and
you know what they look like. You know what they look like.
I
Yeah.
I'm just not. I don't know. Like I don't get me wrong, dude. PS5's awesome piece of equipment, dude. But I just for
It
me,
works good, but
when they came out, I was just like, wow. Dude? I have to say, the sexiest PS3 ever was like that PS3, man. The thing was so sexy.
I have one.
God,
I
turn
still
that thing
have it, but
into a
my
lovely
brother's
dude.
got it, or my nephew.
That thing was so good, man. It was just.
Yeah.
I remember when I got that thing,
Clean.
dude. It was like I think at the
Piano
time they
black.
cost like $1,000, right?
They were
It was
my
60 gigabytes, y'all. 1,000. It was $9.99, I think. And a
my
Blu-ray
neighbor
player.
slash best friend was like one of the first with the PS3s, and he was one of the scalpers, like way back in the day. But they only had one, but they were doing that back then still.
No, it might have been. It might have been the PS3 was 7 or 800.
Yeah, I think it was
They had
eight.
the 20. Look, you could buy two when they came out. I believe you
Two
could buy the
versions.
20 or 30 and the 60, but you had two gigabyte configurations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the 60 gigabyte was like it was at least $700-800. But a Blu-ray player right at the time, Sony's Blu-ray player, they had two Blu-ray players
I
out at the
remember
time.
this. That's why I
The
got
cheapest
one.
one was like $1,000.
Yep.
I was
It
like,
was
dude, I'm
cheaper to
buying
buy
that
the
PS3.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I was like, I'm buying it, but it's got a Blu-ray player
Mm-hmm.
in it. Why not? So that was cool. But yeah, look, dude, don't no, it is a bad time to buy a PS5 because it looks like shit. I
I
promise
bought
you though, that
one,
that Pro's that's what I'm waiting
but
on,
I
dude.
would wait for the
That's what I'm
Pro.
waiting on. That Pro. I'm waiting on the Pro
Yeah.
because I think it'll be smaller and it'll just be a lot sexier.
Here's
And
the
hopefully
question though,
it's black
CG.
again.
Do you have a PC or you have a Series X? So don't get the PS5. Just don't. I wouldn't do it. When the Pro
Ooh.
comes out, maybe, but that you're even. I don't know if it's
YeRoc,
worth it.
what's up with the blacks not being as inky? Have you heard this? Have you had this experience on the
Um,
QD OLED as opposed to the
yeah,
OLED?
yeah, I have. It's a lot of it has to do with so QD OLED has a film on the panel to keep even UV, like say if you had a UV flashlight and you went up to the quantum dots and you shined it, they wouldn't glow, but they should glow. But Samsung has a film on it, so that film they're using, I think, is kind of messing with the black level in the presence
Ah,
of ambient light. It's like kind of catching the light, but
interesting. Interesting. I
yeah,
didn't realize that was an issue. To be honest with you, I
it's not the. Here's the biggest issue with QD OLED is the pixel. The pixel structure, like on a lot of like when you got black bars, there'll be like a red or a green line um on the lines, and once you see it, it's hard not to see it.
mm,
And if you actually look at a QD OLED with like a jeweler's loop, when it's compressing a DCI P3, and I even think a Rec 709 signal, say when it's displaying RGB, it actually when it's displaying like green, it'll be displaying red, and when it's displaying red, it'll have green added to the pixel. But when you display a native colored gamut, it displays straight RGB. So we're gonna get into this later, Joe. Me and you off the air, but
of course we will.
there's a lot of unique things about the way QD OLED just works in general.
Oh
And
yeah, for
I'm gonna
sure.
have you watch some videos and stuff on because I think this
Um,
also has to do with why maybe they're burning in a little bit more. Because if you look at the how the pixels are working, they are working harder than a
CD.
WRGB.
CD says you got to get that windmill screensaver.
Oh, here was there
Yeah,
something
yeah,
there?
yeah. I'm sure he's got to be. Yeah, that's my thing.
He
Anyway,
should
but
be able to. Yeah, he
yeah,
just got
sometimes you just got to
downloaded.
download the new.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
downloaded. I
Um.
I updated my firmware once and it got rid of all my downloaded. But thank
uh,
you're welcome, man. No problem.
yeah, of course, always. YeRoc. Like I said, the Mr. Hyde to the the Doctor Hyde to the Mr. Jekyll. Yeah, what am I saying?
Yeah.
Whatever. So to wrap up, to sum up, because I'm sitting here looking at this secondary screen, and it actually says the LG 65 C3 is $24.99, and I'm like, man, it just blows my mind. I'm reminded of a test our good buddy Vincent Tio put out, I guess, recently, within the last, I guess, few weeks, right? And it was like, hey, don't buy a new TV because they're like the previous generation is 97% as good as the new. So
Hmm.
what have we been saying in this community for at least 2 years? We've been like, hey man, like when I go to buy a TV, I usually wait till the Black Friday or something of that model's, that year's model, and I can get a little cheaper, or wait till the next year, whatever. So now it's like I see a lot of calibrators out here talking the same shit, and they're like, "Well, you might as well just buy last year's TV." God damn, why haven't y'all been saying that for the last few years? That just pisses me off. Sorry, just had to rant about that. But to sum it up,
Rightfully
y'all,
so.
for me, and then I'm gonna let YeRoc, I'm gonna let him some give you his 2 cents on it. For me, the 2023 display is no good. I don't know. That MLA, that G3 is actually, what am I saying? The C3 is all the C series is always good, but it's too much money, y'all. The
Hmm.
C3 is too much money. So it's out. The G3 MLA, yeah, maybe, but it's probably too much money, so it's out. The QD OLED, I'm not touching. It's out. We got to go back to next year's TV, last year's displays is where we need to be. I
This
wouldn't
at this point
recommend
in time,
anybody.
yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody get a 2023 display. I don't know, maybe like maybe if they're doing, yeah, maybe if they're doing like a TCL or something, dude. Hell yeah,
Oh
do it.
yeah, they got
Do it. A
some
Hisense,
high
hell yeah,
sense.
do it. But when we're talking about
That high sense is gonna
mid
be
to upper
sweet.
level displays and what they're worth, I'm sorry, the C3 is not worth $2,500 at 65 inches. It's just
Mhm.
not. And the QD display panels, I'm scared of them.
Yeah,
So
they
there you
are.
go. That's my 2 cents on that. Like Erock said, dude, yeah, we can play this warranty stuff, and we gotta like take our display back, and who knows if it's gonna be bent when we get it, and
Hmm.
if it's not, who knows if they're gonna like nerf
Give
it,
us
make it.
hassle.
Right,
Like,
or if it's gonna like have some little image retention after a few months, because I mean, honestly, how many people watch ESPN or CNN? It's a shit ton.
yeah, it
Well,
is. It
maybe not.
really is.
I don't
Or
know.
just
The
a lot of the
ratings
same
on one
same
of those is
apps.
going way down, so I don't know about that. But
Yeah,
for real, how many
those are
dudes
going
watch
down.
ESPN, dude? I mean, come on, like you're just gonna burn your shit in. Just gonna get burned in. So with that, I think I've just made my main point, y'all. The 2023 display for me is not worth it at all, but the G3 will be worth it to me next year. Okay, so that's what I'll say about that.
If they fix game mode,
Ooh,
because
oh,
because
you're right. They will though, bro. You know they
yeah,
will. It's LG.
yeah,
They'll fix it. It'll be fine.
yeah.
So, having said that, man, I can't tell y'all how much fun I had, how much I loved it, dude. It's been wow, just awesome. YeRoc, my friend, give us your final thoughts. Whatever you want to say, however you need to say it. What are your final thoughts, man?
My final thoughts are, yeah, I would wait on 2023 TVs, even wait possibly a few years, and if you got something good already, hang on to it, wait for content to catch up. We were supposed to get into a lot more stuff tonight, but
Yeah. We
we
we already knew though. We already knew it was just going to be all over the place. We knew that.
exactly, we will get into it. Let's just say we might have something like 30,000 nit uh micro OLED display,
Very
that
well, right?
am micro AMOLED display coming from Samsung display, not Samsung Electronics.
Which is very interesting. Very, very interesting.
So just gonna name drop a company. It's called Imagine.
Mm.
If you have time, just look into it.
Hold on, buddy. Let me help you out, buddy. Can I help
All
you
right,
out real quick?
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
because I
Okay.
think it's
See
worth
here, we were
knowing for
supposed
the
to do a bunch
people
of stuff, y'all, and we just
just
kept ducking up.
what
There you
might
go.
be
You see
coming
it,
on the
buddy? Is it
horizon.
there?
It's still loading. I think it's about to come. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
So you're gonna want to scroll down and just kind of go slow, and I'll maybe go over some things. I'll tell you where to stop. You don't have to stop really till if you scroll down from there and go down to maybe full color OLED brightness roadmap, and then scroll down just a little bit from there. You'll see where some of the stuff on right
Oh yeah,
there, right
okay.
there.
Here we
Yep.
go.
You'll see right where some of these values of these displays this company makes are, and this is probably going to be coming to VR headsets and cell phones and stuff. So
Oh wow, that would
um
be yeah. VR could really needs this, dude.
and
I'm
TVs
sorry, VR is
eventually,
trash.
probably. We'll see. I don't know too much about it, but
Listen to me, dude.
you
Talking
can
like
really
a
go down the
little
rabbit
girl.
hole with displays.
I have not messed with VR in years. I can just tell you, like
Either have
VR
I.
used to be trash, dude. It'd just be like
It was,
it was
but
bad.
yeah.
And the only thing on there was skydiving videos.
Yeah, I think just the moral of the story is we don't even probably basically know half the technologies is out there. So we all need to sometimes just take a pause and just maybe learn a little bit before, like, I don't know, getting on some of the hype trains everywhere. But I think something like this technology is worth getting hyped up over
Yeah, no,
if it comes to fruition.
and I'm sure this is interesting. I appreciate. Yeah, I think everybody should take a moment now, and usually when E-Rock gets a scent on something, turns out to be pretty good. He's usually right on the money with a lot of this shit. So if I was y'all, I'd look into that Imagine company. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Excuse
it's
me.
it just came out that Samsung Display is working with them, so trying to bring it to the consumer market. Isn't it? I told him the same thing the other day. He shocked me with
Yeah,
his cleaned
yeah.
up haircuts. I'm used to Joe with the long hair, man.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I had to go
Looking
though.
good, brother.
So, I appreciate that. It definitely was very different in the beginning. I'll tell you this: the first time I took a shower after that haircut,
Oh
Went to
yeah,
like wash my hair and there was
it's
nothing.
nice, ain't it?
Like, oh, what happened? You know, that was pretty funny. But no, like I said, like yeah. Usually when he's like a bloodhound, dude. When he smells something, he's it's usually pretty accurate, usually pretty close. So the man just he pretty much calibrates his display by eyeballs and reference monitors. So that's pretty crazy. But anyway, we're at an hour now. I guess it's a good time to go ahead and cut it, man. CG,
Yeah,
man, it
we've
was
taken
awesome to
enough.
see you, brother. And
Thank you
you
for
know,
coming, man.
yeah,
We
we were
appreciate you watching. We weren't expecting anybody to really be here,
yeah, we were just
but
yeah, we just wanted to get on here and we needed this was important for us, man. Just to yeah, we really needed to get out here, just like I guess jump in, because
yeah, put our 2 cents in.
yeah, that's right. Just get this first one out, get it over the belt. I think we're gonna target Thursdays though, right? Like Thursdays is a good day
Yeah,
for us.
that's what we
Uh,
used to try to do. I think we should
yeah,
keep that tradition up.
yeah. So anyway, man, really appreciate all of y'all. And
Yeah. Anybody else that watches this when Joe uploads it, appreciate you watching it.
oh yeah, man. Yeah, we'll get it out there and hopefully, that'll well, whatever. We'll just keep at it,
Nice meeting you too, man.
and we'll just keep doing what we do, bro. That's all.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, let's see. I want to get TKK in here. Hey, dude. That's a good. Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. I love TKK. We
I love
actually
him too.
used to communicate. Excuse me, communicate quite a bit
He was
before.
worried about you.
Yeah. He we actually spoke to him kind of a little bit through text. I don't know, few weeks
Good.
ago. Told him I was thinking about making a little return. Excuse me, but yeah, I love TKK, man. And he is like, yeah, I feel like it's an honest review.
Oh
It's
yeah,
an
it's
honest review, and I feel like half of the people that watch this stuff, not half, but I feel like there's definitely some people that watch this stuff is like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, like you said, dude, what do you want him to say? You want him to lie? Like,
right.
no, I don't believe that. Like, no, that's not like what, dude? Like, why would he? No, I really think he's one of the good ones to keep, dude. So
He is. He's trying to shoot his TVs very well too. Like he just putting
he's
effort into his
actually, yeah.
content. He
Yeah,
cares.
he just got or ordered a new camera, right?
Yeah,
Believe he did. So
he did.
yeah, the dude. Uh-oh. There she is. Hey, baby girl.
What's
Oh, yeah, Emma got bigger too. All right. Anyway, yeah. We'll get out of here. What you
Yeah,
want to say
man.
hi? Why are you all up in my face? Whoa, she's scary.
Yeah, I know, man.
She's all up in my. She's just standing right off camera, right here. I
She's
feel
scared
like.
to play Warzone with too, man. She's scared.
Oh man, she'll get kind of nasty. But anyway, hey, man, love you guys. Thank you again, YeRoc. You're the man, brother.
No
CG,
problem,
you're
buddy.
the man. We'll see you guys soon. Why are you laughing?
Why did you
That's
do
devil
that?
horns, dude. Devil horns.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Take it easy.
Everybody knows devil horns.
I don't like that.
It's metal.
It's metal.
Say, look. What am I embarrassing you?
Yes. Stop.
Nobody can even see you.
If my friends watch this, I don't
Why would your friends watch this?
Right? Your friends in the
Yeah.
TVs?
Yeah, they don't care about this.
Yeah,
All right,
they
anyway.
do.
See, look at us just being all silly. All right, we gotta get
Right.
out of here. All right, love
Yeah.
y'all. Hey, what do we always use? Hey, be good, be safe. Peace.
Peace.
I thought it was good.
Oh, boom, you're right. Boom.